The Dallas Cowboys just crashed out of the playoffs. Again. Now, the football world is buzzing with one burning question. Is Mike McCarthy's time up? But hold on to your jerseys, Cowboys Nation, because there's a plot twist. Mike Zimmer, the defensive guru, is already in the building. And an ex-NFL quarterback is stirring the pot, saying something has to change. Buckle up, folks. We're diving deep into the Dallas drama that could reshape the NFL landscape. The stakes? Nothing less than the future of America's team. Hey there, Cowboys Nation. Welcome to Dallas Cowboys Fan, your ultimate destination for all things America's team. Whether you bleed blue and silver or are just starting to catch Cowboys fever, this is the place. If you are a die-hard fan, please make sure to subscribe for more latest news and updates of your favorite team. We're diving into some hot NFL drama that's been brewing in Dallas. The question on everyone's mind, will the Cowboys fire head coach Mike McCarthy? And if they do, is former Vikings coach Mike Zimmer waiting in the wings? Stick around as we break down this situation from all angles, including some spicy takes from a former NFL quarterback. Let's set the scene. The Dallas Cowboys, America's team, just suffered another disappointing playoff exit. It's become an all-too-familiar story for Cowboys fans. High hopes, a strong regular season, and then heartbreak. This time, it was a 48-32 loss to the Green Bay Packers in the wild card round. A game that wasn't even as close as that score suggests. Now, the football world is buzzing with speculation about Mike McCarthy's future. McCarthy, who took over as head coach in 2020, has led the Cowboys to 3 straight 12-win seasons and playoff appearances. On paper, that looks pretty good. But in Dallas, it's not just about making the playoffs. It's about winning it all. And so far, McCarthy's Cowboys have fallen short every time. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, Jerry Jones. The Cowboys owner is known for his passion, his desire to win, and his, let's call it, hands-on approach to running the team. Jones has been patient with McCarthy, at least by his standards. But after this latest playoff disappointment, that patience might be wearing thin. Now, enter Mike Zimmer into the conversation. Zimmer, the former head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, has a history with the Cowboys. He served as their defensive coordinator from 2000 to 2006. During his time in Minnesota, Zimmer built a reputation for tough, defensive-minded football. His Vikings teams were always competitive, even if they didn't quite reach the promised land. So why is Zimmer's name popping up now? Well, it's not just idle speculation. Zimmer has been working as a senior defensive assistant for the Cowboys this season. He's already in the building, already familiar with the personnel, and already has a relationship with Jerry Jones. If McCarthy gets the boot, Zimmer could be seen as a ready-made replacement. But let's pump the brakes for a second. Is firing McCarthy really the answer? This is where things get interesting. An ex-NFL quarterback, and no, we're not naming names, but let's just say he knows a thing or two about the pressures of playing in Dallas, has weighed in on the situation. His take? You have to do something. Now, that's a loaded statement if I've ever heard one. You have to do something doesn't necessarily mean fire the coach, but it does suggest that the status quo isn't acceptable. This former QB points out that while McCarthy's regular season record is impressive, the playoffs are a different animal. And in the playoffs, McCarthy's Cowboys have consistently come up short. Let's break down the pros and cons of keeping McCarthy versus bringing in someone like Zimmer. On the pro-McCarthy side, you have consistency. The Cowboys have been a regular season juggernaut under his leadership. They've won the NFC East 2 out of the last 3 years. The offense, when clicking, can be electric. Dak Prescott had arguably his best season this year, throwing for over 4,500 yards and 36 touchdowns. But the cons? Those playoff losses loom large. There's also been criticism of McCarthy's in-game management, particularly in crucial moments. And fair or not, there's a perception that he hasn't been able to get the most out of a talented roster when it matters most. Now, let's look at the Zimmer option. Zimmer would bring a different style to Dallas. His defenses in Minnesota were consistently among the league's best. He's known for his ability to scheme against opposing offenses and get the most out of his defensive players. Plus, he's got that Dallas connection from his days as a coordinator. The downside? Zimmer's offensive philosophy is more conservative than what Cowboys fans have become accustomed to under McCarthy. There's also the question of whether a defensive-minded head coach is the best fit for a team with so much offensive firepower. Of course, this isn't just about McCarthy and Zimmer. There are other potential candidates out there. Bill Belichick, the legendary former Patriots coach, is available. There's been chatter about Michigan's Jim Harbaugh possibly returning to the NFL. The Cowboys, if they decide to make a change, will have options. But let's circle back to that quote from our mystery ex-QB, "You have to do something." What does that really mean in the context of the Cowboys? It could mean a coaching change, sure. But it could also mean a change in philosophy, a change in personnel, or a change in the way the team approaches big games. The Cowboys have all the pieces to be a Super Bowl contender. They have a franchise quarterback in Dak Prescott, a dynamic receiving core led by CeeDee Lamb, a strong running game, and playmakers on defense like Micah Parsons. On paper, this is a team that should be competing for championships. So maybe the something that needs to be done is more subtle than a coaching change. Maybe it's about changing the team's mentality, finding a way to translate regular season success into playoff victories. Maybe it's about bringing in a sports psychologist to help the team deal with the immense pressure that comes with wearing the star on your helmet. Or maybe, just maybe, it is about making a bold move like bringing in Zimmer or another high-profile coach. Jerry Jones has never been afraid to make headlines, and a splashy coaching hire would certainly do that. Here's the thing, though. Whatever decision the Cowboys make, it needs to be made with a clear head, not in the heat of the moment after a tough playoff loss. Knee-jerk reactions rarely lead to long-term success in the NFL. The Cowboys need to take a hard look at where they are, where they want to be, and what it will take to get there. So, what do you think? Should the Cowboys stick with McCarthy and hope that the playoff breakthrough is coming? Should they make a move for Zimmer or another established coach? Or is there another solution that we haven't even considered? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And while you're at it, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more NFL news and analysis. Trust me, we'll be keeping a close eye on the situation in Dallas as it develops.